Hi there, and welcome to another episode of Austin Tech Connect. This is the official podcast of the Austin Technology Council. My name is Tom Singer, and I've been with ATC now for coming up on 3 years, and I was hired to reinvent the organization and have the Austin Tech community look to a new way to the future. Hopefully, we're doing that. I'm really excited about the support we're getting from some of the leaders here in the community. And, Austin is a great place to live. I've been really fortunate. I've lived in Austin now for 34 years, which means I have seen Austin go from a town of 700,000 people to now over 2.5 million people. And we're not done growing yet. There is so many things that are going on in Austin. We are an amazing technology hub and innovation center. We are a city that other places look to and say, how did they do that? If you go back just 30 or 40 years, we weren't on the map. Yes, we had some big companies like IBM and 3M and Texas Instruments and some semiconductor companies who were all here, but we weren't the innovation center that we've become over the years. And one of the things I'm trying to do with the Austin Technology Council is make sure that everyone in town understands where we came from. Because if we don't know our past, we're not going to be able to thrive moving into the future. But you can't live in the past. We have to be present in the now. And at the same time, we need to be looking to the future. And that is why last year, the Austin Technology Council introduced the Austin Tech Hall of Fame. Now, this is something that should have been started 30 years ago, 20 years ago. And in fact, the Austin Technology Council made a pass at starting it in 2013, and they admitted one person, and then we never did anything with it again. Well, last year, I changed that, and we came together, the Austin Technology Council board and myself, and we created the Austin Tech Hall of Fame in its new essence, and it's going to go on and on and on. Last year was the first year, and this is the second year of what I'm calling an 8-year launch. And this week, we announced the next 8 foundational inductees. These are people whose legacy helped lay that foundation that allowed Austin to become what it is today. But here's the deal. It's not just the 8 people who went in this last year or the 8 people who we're putting in this year. There's probably close to 70 people who really were the shoulders that we're standing on today. But here's the thing. You can't drop 70 people into a Hall of Fame in one day. That would be that'd be just, I don't know what it would be. It wouldn't be great. So we came up with the idea that we were going to have 8 legacy/foundational people inducted every single year for the next 8 years. So we are just in year 2 of an 8-year launch. Then every year we're going to add one person who is last year was the 2024 inductee. This year is going to be the 2025 inductee, etc. And we're also starting the First Time Founder Award. Because when you look at those 3 sections of this event and this Hall of Fame, it is celebrating our past, it's being present in the now, and it's looking to the future. So I think this is really exciting for the community, and it is my personal hope that the community is going to embrace this Hall of Fame. Year over year, it's going to get bigger. More people are going to nominate people, and more people are going to show up at the event itself. Last year, we had 200 people. We sold it out, and we sold it out pretty quick. This year, we now can hold 250 people because we've moved it to a larger location. Thank you to Indeed, who has come on as a sponsor and is giving us the space on the top floor of their tower downtown, where we're going to be able to not only have this great celebration, but we're going to have amazing views of all of Austin. In fact, if it wasn't for the sponsors of the event, we wouldn't be able to do this at all. Every time I talk about sponsors for anything, for one of the ATC breakfasts, for our C-Suite Summit, for the Gateway Happy Hour, or for the Hall of Fame, or heck, when I talk about other events that are done by other nonprofits, I always point out to anyone who will listen that if it wasn't for the sponsors, the true community champions who put up the money, put up the funds so that we're able to do these things, Austin never would have been able to have all of the events that brought the community together over the last several decades. So our sponsors so far, and we're still looking to add sponsors, but our sponsors are KPMG, Egan and Nelson, Indeed, and Reddit. And you know what? They are true community champions because they're allowing us to do this the right way. So this year's inductees are a great group of people. And I feel personally honored at the fact that I know most of them, and a couple of them have actually been mentors to me. And I will tell you, I am really happy that when we look at who we inducted last year and we add this group, I think we're off to a great start. But again, if there's somebody you think should be admitted to the Hall of Fame and you don't see their name on the list, make sure that you get involved with this program so that next year you're able to nominate them. And if they don't get in next year, there's always the year after. As I said, this is an 8-year launch. We can't do it all at once. But we also can't do it if you leave it all up to me, because I'm not that smart. We need this to be a community effort where people are excited and they want to be a part of it. So I'm hoping that you'll buy a ticket. They're on sale now at the Austin Technology Council website. I hope that you'll buy a ticket to be at that cocktail reception where we're going to honor the 8 foundational inductees. We're going to honor the 2025 inductee and the first-time founder. Now, those last 2, we're actually going to announce at the event itself. But the 8 foundational/legacy inductees, those are Angelos Angelou, Joshua Baer, Bob Fabbio, Joe Liemandt, Pike Powers, Carol Thompson, John Thornton, and Ellen Wood. As we look at the list, it really makes up what I was hoping when we first started this last year that it would be. I didn't want this just to be a celebration of old entrepreneurs who started something and grew giant companies, although that is an important part of the story of Austin. But I also wanted it to be the investors, the service providers, the mentors, people who really helped, the people who grew this town. They helped serve it so that we would have access to the money, we would have access to the service providers, we would have access to mentors. Because having a great idea as an entrepreneur only goes so far if you don't have the right bench of people surrounding you and supporting you. And I think that's who we're getting in this Hall of Fame after 2 years worth. But I'm really excited about year 3, year 4, year 5, year 6, year 7, year 8, and on. Now, here's the thing. I'm not going to be running it for all of those years, which means this has to become a grassroots effort. This has to be something that the community embraces. So if you've been listening to this podcast for this far, I'm hoping that you're going to get a ticket so that you can come and congratulate Angelos, Josh, Bob, Joe, Carol, and Ellen. And then, of course, they're no longer with us, both Pike and John, but I hope you'll be there to celebrate the honor of their memory as we add them to the Hall of Fame. And I hope you'll be thinking about how can we make this better next year? Because as I said, I'm not doing this forever, and I'm certainly not capable of doing it alone. The Austin Technology Council has to be a grassroots organization. It has to be an organization where everyone who touches the tech company, whether they're a startup entrepreneur or they're running a multinational company, where they feel that ATC is a place where their voice can be heard and they can pull a chair up to the table. And that's what I want you to do. So this whole episode of the podcast is just to promote the Hall of Fame and to honor the people who we're honoring this year, but it's also an appeal to you. Is your company supporting ATC? Are you adding your ideas to what we're trying to accomplish? In order to be a grassroots organization, we need the grassroots. And that's you. That's your coworkers. That's the people who you do business with. So I'm making this appeal to you that if you've listened to this far, that you will get behind us. Go out to your social media and talk about the Hall of Fame. Encourage people to buy tickets. Go ahead and buy a few tickets and bring a couple of your clients. Let's get excited as a community again, the way we did in the 90s when we were first starting to get that buzz all around the country that there was something special going on in Austin. Here's the secret. There is still something special going on in Austin, but we have to embrace it and we have to live it and we have to be the ones who tell the world. We can't sit back and assume that we can live off of yesterday. We have to celebrate yesterday, but we have to be here right now and we have to be looking to the future. Anyway, this was my rant for this week because I wanted to announce the Hall of Fame inductees, but I also wanted to appeal to anyone who says, well, why isn't so-and-so in the Hall of Fame or why is it being done this way? Add your voice to the discussion and make sure that next year we're making it even better because this isn't about me. It's not even about the board of ATC. It's not even about our member companies. This is about Austin, and it's about leaving a permanent record of how Austin became the most amazing city that anyone can talk about in the world of technology. And that's because of you. Thank you very much. We'll be back next week with another interview because that's what this show, Austin Tech Connect, is all about. But I wanted to make this announcement, and I didn't have an interview in the can. I'll just be really honest with you. And the newsletter goes out tomorrow. So I thought, I'm just going to talk for a while and we'll make it kind of fun and we'll celebrate the Hall of Fame. Anyway, thanks for tuning in and thank you for your support of the Austin Technology Council.